Could toxins be contributing to your weight gain and to your difficulty in losing weight? Well, I think it's very likely that they do. Let's just talk about a few different ways in which they can. First of all, we use a lot of different pesticides and preservatives in our food supply. And unless you're eating 100% pure food that's been grown away from civilization, you probably have accumulated a lot of those. Also from automobile exhaust, from various kinds of paints and chemicals that are used around the home and at work for spraying, for insecticides and all sorts of industrial locations, even if you don't spray at home. All of these are sources of toxins that get into your environment and into your body. And many of them are fat soluble. So that means they're stored in the compartment of your fat, of your body. So when you start losing weight and fat cells break down and release the fat, what happens to the toxins that are dissolved there? Well, in the old days, fat reduction programs usually were accompanied by headaches and feeling bad. And why was that? It's because you're concentrating those toxins and the body has to deal with them, and some of them are going to the brain and causing you to feel lousy. So many of the programs that are more sophisticated today involve various herbs and preparations that enhance the removal of fat toxins from the body. So they support the liver and the kidneys, the herbs that have been used traditionally for that purpose for centuries, and those are incorporated in some of those programs. Other sources of toxins include the bacteria that live in our large intestine, especially abnormal bacteria, that can back up into the small intestine and get out through a leaky gut. Those kinds of toxins often cause a person to have some fatigue and not to feel good. And they may also be part of bloating and other disorders. So there are a number of totally different sources of toxins that are involved in the body. Finally, there are heavy metals that are involved in our whole environment, including arsenic and cadmium and a number of other metal toxins that have an ability to compete with the normal metals that are present in our enzyme systems, which break down various substances and are part of our entire metabolic cycle. So if those enzymes get gummed up with toxic minerals, they just don't work right. And then we begin to build up all the byproducts that should have been converted and disposed of by our system. So still another way in which toxins can really mess up our system. Sometimes it's important to identify these so that we can use the proper means for removal. In any case, it's really helpful to have somebody who knows what they're doing, both in taking a history, looking at you, and in doing testing, in order to identify and help you get rid of the toxins that are in your body that are causing you to have difficulty losing weight and to not feel your normal self.